Well, Bandai Namco seems to be all over the place because I logged into Steam and noticed that now DS3 is enabled for family share again. I was originally going to make this video in response to them removing family share because I think that's absolutely insulting to their customers. You know, punishing innocent players for the hackers who can still navigate around that lift anyway. But who knows. Regardless, if they decide to re-enable that removal, or maybe they come to DS Remastered and start doing that shit, I'm just going to go ahead and show you guys how I went about going and swapping items in my initial video back in March, because I put that thing online just for shits and giggles to see how long it would take to get kicked from it, and I'm still there. No ban messages, nothing, so maybe the item swap is safer than I believe it to be. But either way, I still advise that you go on an alternate account using Cheat Engine for quick builds. You may as well, since you still can. And then, obviously, don't use cheats when you're in PvP and online. Like, don't be a fucking loser. Seriously, it's so pointless. Ugh. But anyway, so I'm just going to go from start to finish here, and I will be splitting this video up into chapters, so if you know how to use Cheat Engine and you know how to do all this and you just want to see how I went about, go ahead and look at the timestamps. I'll provide all that in the video here, or in the description, or in the comments. So if this is the first time you're ever seeing a Cheat Engine video and you don't even have the application, you can come here to GitHub and download it from them directly. You scroll down here, go to the latest version, and again, all links that I show will be in the description, so go ahead and give it a read. You can kind of read all that if you want, but you can scroll down here, and then you'll select the Cheat Engine 71 executable to download. I usually like to wait for this to finalize, even though it shows that it's ready, but I just like to wait for that to start going bing bing. There we go. Good grief. Double click. And then say yes for the setup. I know that my screen blacks out there. I don't know how I can go about showing it. And this is the license agreement for Cheat Engine. You can give it a read if you really want to, but... Oh yeah. So sometimes the nature of Cheat Engine is that it analyzes your memory, especially when you load a game, and then obviously Cheat Engine is to cheat in your game, and so it's going to alter the data in those memory addresses. So even though your antivirus may flag this like, oh, it's perfectly fine. I've been using it, others have been using it for a long time, and it's fine. You just need to know what to accept and what not to accept. But the very nature of Cheat Engine will be flagged by most antivirus software. But anyway, coming back here, you can just give that a read, and then you say, I accept the agreement, just the license agreement from Cheat Engine. Go to next. Now here, you can install it in program files, but I personally just like to install it right on my C drive or any other drive I wish to do so, just to have it on its own folder, since program files can have some obstacles, especially when you start modding, but that was more for other things. Point being, install it as you will. I just like to do it in the C drive. You can choose whether or not you want to make a start menu. I'll just go ahead and say no for that. And then create a desktop icon. No, not for me. And then you can leave that checked or unchecked, really. Now this is where you're going to want to decline. This is what's going to do harmless but really annoying adware. So you just decline that one. And again, it's trying to keep me safe, and I'm like, don't worry. Okay, hit next. And then I unchecked reset settings because I'm not sure what settings it's going to reset. So I just uncheck that and then go ahead and launch Cheat Engine 7.1. And then this, I really don't know. I usually just say cancel. You can read it, but I just say cancel. Okay, so now I have Cheat Engine 7.1 here, good and ready to go. So I'm going to close it for now. So before I move on to the Dark Souls Remastered cheat table, there are some scripts and functions in that table that newer versions of Cheat Engine do not like. So they invalidate the functions and you can't use them. So Cheat Engine 6.6 seems to be a lot more stable, and I've noticed this with other cheat tables for other games. So you have one of two options with Cheat Engine 6.6. You can come back to their website here on GitHub and go to older versions. And then I usually just do Control F to bring up the search and just do 6.6, and then boom, it's right there. And then I scroll down, and then here it'll download the same thing here and go through a similar process. However, so far they have not removed the adware included in this installer, and there's no option to decline it from installing. So you'll just hit next, and you have to install the adware in order to install Cheat Engine, which I don't know why they haven't removed that. But an alternative, if you do want to use 6.6, I have included a zip file here with 6.6 where I just extracted the main files, zipped them up, and put them up here. So it's the same thing, you know, as this here for Cheat Engine 7.1. Has the same thing here, obviously just for the 6.6 version. So if you want, all you need to do is just come to my Google Drive here. Internet's being funky. Let's try that again. There we go. So just go ahead and say download. Kind of wait for Google to do its thing. Okay. I don't even know if you have to wait for it. I don't know, I like to. Just go ahead and copy that in the same area I downloaded Cheat Engine 7.1 there. And you can have multiple versions, as you'll see, of Cheat Engine for this very reason. The newer ones, you know, for the more modern cheat tables, you'll want to use the most recent. And then, of course, for older tables like this one, 6.6 comes in handy. And that's what it's included in there. Okay. So I'll just go ahead and scan this, you know, the 7.1 that we installed via the installer. And it's gonna, I think it'll detect the one thing it kept showing up for me, warning me about. It's probably harmless, but since its removal doesn't impact Cheat Engine's performance, I just go ahead and remove it. This standalone phase1.dat, I don't know. I'm like, okay, if you want to remove it, go ahead. I have no qualms. Okay, there we go. It's probably harmless again, but when I remove it, I can still use Cheat Engine perfectly fine. It's not an essential file or anything, so, you know, why not? The less junk, the better. Just go ahead and rescan it. For those of you like me who just, I don't know, have some subconscious peace of mind, and then here, I'll go ahead and scan my own zip file here that I provide. There you go. Boom. Okay, so now we have Cheat Engine 6.6 and 7.1 installed. So now coming here where you'll want to install the cheat table for Dark Souls Remastered. Cheat Engine is the application that cheat tables are used in. And this is different from the one I provided in my initial video. My original video, I went over this one. Oh, that's bright. And this one's the same, you can kind of read. It's just a person who added in addition to the original one here. So I'll provide this link in case you want it as well. This one, I think they updated the DLC items to be included in the item swap list, but I still prefer using the original, but it's here. So I'll go ahead and use this just to have something new. So you'll come down here in attachments, and this will be the cheat table. Go ahead and download that one. And then this Steal the Edit 2.4, that will include plugins that you need in order to use some of the scripts in this cheat table. So go ahead and download that one as well. Okay, come back here. So first, I'm just going to extract the cheat table here onto my desktop. And then here, I'll go ahead and extract the Steal the Edit zip file here. And then this, you can keep it in downloads if you want, or move it wherever. For just my personal preference, I'll just move it to 7.1's folder, right there. And these are the contents. You can go ahead and open the README. I didn't have to do anything except for this, which I'll show later. I covered this in my first video, but I'll briefly do it here again, just in case. Okay, so that's good. Okay, so now this is the part where you'll enable family share for the alternate account that you created. I already created mine. So you come up here to Steam, go to Settings, go to the Family tab, and then you'll say Authorize, and then OK. And now you'll log out and log in to your alternate account that you created. Okay, here's my alt. Let's see. Yep, I swear. So there you go, DS3's available for alts again. At least that much. Alright, so you'll come here to Dark Souls Remastered and you'll click Borrow, because now we're on our alternate, and it will ask if you want to request access. You'll say yes. And then from here you'll just send the request, and then it will email you the request on your main account to whichever email is associated with your main account. So I'll go ahead and go to my email, and I should see an email saying, hey, your alternate requested permission. It'll provide you a link saying grant access to this computer. Clicking the link should automatically enable it for you. Okay, and now I came back. I didn't even have to restart Steam. I'm already ready to go. Okay, now we're here. Alright, so first thing first, log out and stay logged out. Come to System, just as an extra measure, and say Start Offline in case you have to do this, you know, like you have to take a break or something like I did. I had to go get dinner. And then New Game. Alright, so for this example, I'm going to use a Dex build that I found randomly on YouTube. The guy's actually kind of funny. You should give him a watch. This dude here, Crozen video. I'll provide this link in the description. I'm just using this as an example to show you like how you can make a build quickly with Cheat Engine. Okay, so I just picked this up so that it won't get confused with all the items I'm about to drop. Go ahead and unequip everything you have. And you can drop anything you want. I'm just going to choose this. So first, let me just get out of here and open the cheat table. And then select yes to allow. Okay, come up here, link it. And then this is the tweaked cheat table. Now you have to use one or the other. I was trying to switch between them to, you know, utilize this to get like the broken pendant, since it's included in the item list here but not in this original one up here. But then I couldn't come back here and use this, and then this had like some interesting hotkeys that, I don't know, anytime I would tab out, the table would close. Point being, I'm just going to use this, but you can use that tweaked one if you want. Alright, so after you link it, you can click on the square or press the spacebar to open it. There we go. And what I did, I just disabled autosave because, I don't know, I just felt like it. I didn't think it would be good to have it constantly saving my output and input between changing inventory items. So I disabled that there. And then since I'm going to be going through the first area, may as well come down here, alter my modifier for speed, then come to character flags. I don't want to die. I don't want to use stamina. I don't want to consume my goods. And then this prevents you from being staggered, so infinite poise, I suppose. And then down here, player exterminate, you'll one-shot everything. Okay? And then down here in helpers, item swap. Now this is where you'll need to enable the plugin. Debugger options, VEH debugger in case you're having some issues, and then the plugin here. I already included it, so I'll go ahead and remove it. It'll look like this. Add new. You'll go to where you unpacked that steal the edit file here, and then you'll use this. Open. Check the box. Click OK. Alright, so with all that good, we're ready to start using the item swap. So, getting ready to drop the item. Activate the item swap script. Drop the item. It updated down there. come here, double click, or you can hit enter. And then I'll just do Soul of a Great Hero to start, since they can stack. Okay. And since I have no goods consume enabled, I can just use this as much as I want. I'll just use it like twice though. Okay. So now that I have all the souls I could ever want to level up, actually go ahead and exit the pause menu there, because I'm going to come up here in Menu Man and then bring up the level up menu. So that pause menu would kind of interfere with this one. And now from here I'm just going to follow Crozen's stats for the Dex build. Okay, so that's good there. And now to start changing the rings. So enter here, and depending on how much you want to swap, just go ahead and keep your cursor here, and then I'm going to stop using my controller and just use my keyboard to make this go as quickly as possible. So Ring of Favor right there. Okay. Whoops. There we go. Okay, next. Maybe I should look at the keyboard. There we go. And Havel's ring. Okay. Alright, come back here. Yep, good to go. Alright. And then for consumables, 1, 2, 3, yeah, 4. Yeah, okay. There's a few things I want to mention here. Alright, so just the same as before. Now this one has two different values. It'll be the second one. You can verify it should be 1F4 here. And then, I don't know, 94. Okay. Then he had some green blossom as well. Go ahead and just do 80 of that. Okay. Some good old charcoal pine resin. Sure, 80 of that as well. And now for the Fire Keeper souls. Since you can have a maximum of +7 for your Estus, you know, you have 7 souls here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Now, I can't tell which ones are the ones from the dead Firekeepers and which ones are from the live ones. There's 4 from the dead and 3 from the living Firekeepers. So this one I never did. I never upgraded my Estus. So this is a 50-50 chance. This could either be still safe or this will be what can ban you. So use at your own risk. I'll go ahead and use all of them just as a test case. And then if I get banned, I'll let you guys know. Huh, okay. Well, this is convenient. So I went ahead and just updated this list here in my Google Sheets. And the order that these are listed in also correlates with the order here. So you know how you have 1 through 7 options here? It parallels here. So that was the first, the second, and the third option. 1, 2, 3. So that was nice. So I just went ahead and labeled it here. So the first 3 are the Firekeeper souls for the living Firekeepers, and then the remaining 4 are from the dead ones. So if you just want to use the first 4 from the corpses, in case you think maybe the 3 need to die in order for the game to think you got their souls legitimately, I'm going to go ahead and use all 7 and keep the 3 Firekeepers alive just to see what happens. But there you go, it's labeled now. Okay, let's drag you back over there, and for more Estus, yeah, like to get like 20 max, I'm just gonna warp to Pinwheel later in the video. If you want to, you know, swap in the Rite of Kindling item, I guess you could, but again, I don't know if you need to kill Pinwheel, if there's a flag somewhere in the game save data that says, oh, you can only get the Rite of Kindling if he's dead, which is also why I'm unsure about the Firekeeper souls as well. So again, this is 50-50. I'm doing a lot of things that I didn't do in my save, and I'm just curious to see what will happen. Now, before I continue, we still have autosave disabled, which means everything I've done so far, if my computer were to randomly crap out or the game crashed, I would lose all my progress. So depending on how much you want to swap, that could be no big deal or a very big deal. So one thing I was doing on the other save file before I noticed I wasn't getting kicked was that I just did things in stages. So if I wanted consumables, I would do the consumables and the weapons all in their own time. So once you have everything done, you know, you're not dropping or picking up items anymore, and you just have this, whoops, the joys of switching between keyboard and controller. Once you've, you know, put everything in your inventory, like you can see, I put all the souls, like I'm done with my consumables, and you're not going to be dropping or picking up anything, you can go ahead and just briefly re-enable the autosave, and then you can see that fire icon. That means that it's saved. Go ahead and re-disable it, and then go back to your next phases of swapping. Okay, so I'm gonna swap 4 now in the other. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Because I need those 2 embers in order to get the weapons to maximum upgrades. So here for the broken pendant, if I type it in, you notice that it's not showing up. And that's where, down here, you can open this tweaked cheat table list, and then that item swap will have, I think it's called like category, it's the 3rd option in their item swap, where you can type in broken pendant and it shows up. But since I don't really care to use that option, I'm going to go ahead and show you how to use it just with this one. So since it's not in the list, you can still refer to it here. So I'll go ahead and bring this back. Now if you search for broken pendant, you'll see it show up here. Now again, everything is split between hex ID and hex ID type. So this is the hex ID and this is the hex ID type. Essentially, you just want to fuse the two. So whatever the leading number is here, you'll just replace it with the first 0 here, which is what you see here. Where is it? The 4, yeah. So this is literally just that plus that with the leading number. And you can do that for any items that aren't included in this list. It doesn't work just for that. So since we're going to be working with the item's ID and not its name, instead of editing the item name here, you'll come to the ID, and then you can enter, or you can double click just to be cautious. Copy that, paste it in there. And it won't update the name since it's not included in the name list, but it will still give us the item. There you go. So now let's check our keys and our embers. Okay. Broken pendant, good to go, and the master key. Alright. And again, since I'm done with this stage of swapping, I can come back to my autosave, re-enable it. Now I didn't see the fire icon, so let me just go ahead. There we go. Okay. Alright, so for Quaelag's Fury Sword, notice how now you have a whole bunch of different entries. Now I guess you could still do it here, however, since I'm not sure what's going on here, and I want to make sure things are as valid, per se, as I can make it, what I suggest doing is for the boss weapons, just go ahead and get their soul, and then the weapon needed to ascend it to whatever version you want. So like, I think, is it the Artorias Greatsword? Yeah, with the Soul of Sif. Just make sure you upgrade the appropriate weapon to +10, and then go to the giant and have him ascend it to the version you want. And you can do more than one instance of the soul. Like, I could have 5 Soul of Quaelags if I want to, but I've only just done 1 for 1. So let's go ahead and just get her soul here instead. So soul of, there we go. Let's go ahead and do 1. So there's her soul. And then the appropriate weapon I need can be any curved sword. I'll just do the scimitar. And for weapons and armor, just swap in the base. Don't do the upgraded versions. Essentially, you just want to follow the same safety rules for DS3, you know, and that cheat table as you do here. As long as you follow those same guidelines, like that's what I did. And so far, so good. Okay, so that takes care of the 2 components for that weapon. And then for the Silver Knight, you really do have to do, yeah, you don't spell it out. So if it's abbreviated in the game, it's going to be abbreviated here as well. Okay. Now for the Pyromancy Flame, there's 2 here. Can't remember which one. I'll just do both for now, which means I'm going to have to drop another item. Okay, so that's the Ascended one. I can tell just by the icon. So the second one is the normal one, the unupgraded one. Okay. So what I'll do... oh my god. So yeah, so this one is the one that Quilana ascends for us once it's upgraded. And then this is the original one we get. So, I mean, if you want to keep this one, sure, I guess. I would just go ahead and, you know, start at the bottom as much as you can. But I'll go ahead and I'll go ahead and drop this one. If you want to see how it works for you, if you keep the Ascended one, then go ahead. But I'll drop that one for now, and then just keep this, the regular one in my inventory. So, I have 2 more weapons. Well, you get the point at this rate. You know, once I'm done with those 2 weapons there, then I would just go ahead and re-enable the autosave to save my progress. Now, since this is in the outside world, you know, it's not in our inventory, it's in the world, I don't think re-enabling autosave would be an issue since, you know, you can see that the icon updated, so it's technically valid as long as you don't put it back in your inventory. These are just guesses. You know, I'm trying to keep close to what I originally did. Like I said before, it could very well be that you don't even have to do the autosave thing, and you're fine. Okay, and now just for the 2 pyromancy spells here. Okay, so what I originally tried to do is to attune them by using the menu man up here again and then going to the attune magic and switching that to a 1 to enable it. But as you can see, it's not listed, even though I still have it in my inventory here. And that's because I'm guessing that since we haven't even left our jail cell yet, you need to at least activate a bonfire in order to attune your spells, and then you can use the menu man from there on out. So I'll go ahead and test that now since I'm done with the swapping. And since I am done with swapping for now, I'll just go ahead and re-enable autosave so that I don't forget to later on. And since I have player exterminate, I won't even equip weapons, I'll just punch everything as I progress through. I do recommend going through this area manually, because I'm still uncertain about the world progression flags, you know. So say if I warp straight into Ornstein and Smog, whatever, I don't know if that's gonna flag my save data as invalid, because it's gonna be like, how the hell did you even leave the Asylum, you know? So here we go, so I can just start attuning my spells here, and I should be able to use them. Oh sure, I'll just equip weapons because why not? Okay. Yep. Cool. So since I attuned it, let me see if now I can use the menu man, because that would be nice. I remember I was able to, but I don't know anymore. Let's see. Okay, good. Yeah, so now it shows up. So yeah, you just needed to activate a bonfire first, and then Menu Man is good to go, which is really nice, because sometimes you're in the middle of an area and you don't want to have to go to a bonfire just to change out one spell. Okay. Yeah, and that's another thing about the speed modifier. All of your actions are sped up, but everything else is still at their original speeds. And that's the super armor there. That's what it does for us.
Oh, regrettably. Oh, no.
Okay, thank you. Open you for later and to get down here. Okay. Alright, and now we're good. Once we're at Firelink Shrine, I'll just go ahead and do a few more things and then good from there. Okay, so first, let's go ahead and just use all my humanity. And since I have the no goods, it's still there. Alright. Reverse. Yeah, and that's one of the side effects, since that animation takes longer normally. So cannot kindle without secret rite. Alright, so now let's go ahead and warp to poor Pinwheel, as if he doesn't get bullied enough. The cat, and you can also type in locations in this menu as well, and it should bring it up. So you're going to want to use this one, the Catacombs entrance. This will warp you to the blacksmith down there, who will then open that nice little shortcut for us. I'll just go ahead and activate that, because why not? Okay. Fast, fast, fast. Pinwheel, I'm home! Goodbye. I love you! I feel so bad for him. And you can get... Alright, there we go. So we got our Rite of Kindling there. Again, just to be safe. Alright, so now the... Oh no, just Undead Parish. Now let's go to Andre. Where would it be? It's this one. Undead Parish Bonfire. Okay. And now with him, if you want to upgrade without using upgrade materials, scripts, and this too is reliant upon enabling the plugin from earlier. No upgrade materials required. Come back here.
Well, I might be...
Reinforced weapon. And yeah, let's do the scimitar, since I'm gonna need to use that for the boss weapon.
Don't get yourself...
Okay. Now he needs the Embers, so just exit his dialogue. There you go.
My... I'll be
Leave
seeing
again.
you. Well,
Alright, now we're good. Okay, now that it's at plus 10, let's go to an Orlando. Lady of the Darkling Bonfire. Let's go to that one. Now before I go, with Cheat Engine 7.1, like I said before, like the fly mode script doesn't like 7.1, it only works with 6.6 for me. But what you can do, if you just want to use 7.1 and not the older one, you can come here to no gravity. And this is the next best thing. Now be careful, if you drop too close to a wall, you will clip through it and then you'll be stuck and you'll have to warp back out. That happened to me earlier. And with the no dead, no problem. There we go. Quelaag Fury Sword. Yep. And you still have to spend souls to upgrade, you just don't need the upgrade materials, which who cares? Okay. Come here. And there we go. And lastly, let's go back to our nice Firelink Shrine and upgrade our Estus. Okay. Now I have +7. Come back here. Kindle. Okay. And now we're all set to go. And so comes the obvious part. Please, not even please, don't. Just fucking don't use these cheat flags in PvP. Why? Literally, what's the point? Even someone like me, who doesn't care for online interaction, knows that that is just an asinine, useless, most loser twat thing you can do. I mean, really. If one thing's to use cheats, like I like to use them in the game offline or just not interacting with the online world just to see if I can get better, another's to just blatantly go and troll other people. Like, hee hee ha ha, you're so funny. It's people like you that made Bandai Namco do the stupidity that they did and disable family share. Now, they are to blame for being stupid enough to think that was even remotely an appropriate response, but at the very least for now, DS3 is back on for that. I don't even care, like, if I lost the online, it's the principle of the matter that really irks me. So just, you know, don't do it. And one more thing to note, if you close out Cheat Engine, and let's say you go back to the main menu and you reload your game, your flags here, so the autosave flag, these Boolean flags, you know, the 0s and 1s, they will still remain active. You need to close out your game entirely and then restart and reload the game. So go ahead and do that, because if you, I swear, if you just use this online, fuck off. But inevitably, you will have idiots using this online, as they have before. They've been cheating since the release date, so it's not surprising. But down here, I'm sure this is similar to DS3, and maybe there's other people who cover this specifically for online. But you can just come here, current player, and kind of probably see all of their stuff here. Even tells you if they're on a shared account, maybe. And then you can kick them, I guess, from here. I've never used this because, again, I don't do PvP. But at least this resource is down here for you, so go ahead and just leave this active when you're PvPing, and I don't know, see how it works. Maybe you guys can make your own help community for using this specifically, since I tried looking for how you can guard against online in Dark Souls Remastered, but I didn't really find much. I found a shitload for DS3, but not so much for the remaster.